All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about the raw, untamed, and honestly, just mind-blowing power of sandstorms. We're going to peel back all the layers of this incredible natural event, starting from a single grain of sand all the way to a global force.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at how a storm is even born. Then we'll get a feel for its incredible power. After that, we'll see how it literally reshapes the Earth, follow its unbelievable journey across the entire globe, and finally, check out its role in our own culture.
Okay, so let's get into it. It all starts with two really simple things we all know: wind and sand. But for them to combine into something this powerful, well, that takes a very special set of circumstances.
So at its heart, a sandstorm is pretty much what it sounds like. But look, we're not just talking about a little dust getting kicked up. This is what happens when ferocious winds, often from something like a collapsing thunderstorm, just tear across a dry landscape with enough force to lift billions of tiny particles. What you get is a colossal, moving cloud that can stretch for miles and miles.
And you can probably guess, these storms have their favorite places to form. They absolutely thrive in the huge, dry regions of our planet. Places with a basically endless supply of loose sand and the right kind of weather systems. We're talking about iconic spots like the Sahara, the Gobi, and of course the massive deserts of the Middle East.
Okay, so we know how they're made, but what's it actually like to be in the path of one of these things? I can tell you, this isn't just a windy day at the beach. No, it's something else entirely. Just try to picture this. You look out at the horizon, and you don't see clouds. You see a gigantic, churning wall of sand rolling right towards you. People have seen it often say it looks like a living, breathing thing, like a tidal wave made of earth that's just swallowing the sky.
And once you're inside that storm, the whole world just vanishes. Visibility can drop to practically zero, turning bright daylight into this strange, confusing twilight. It makes any kind of travel, whether you're on foot or in a car, incredibly dangerous. And the force behind all this is just staggering. We are not talking about a gentle breeze here. The winds that drive these storms can blast past 60 miles per hour. That's over 100 kilometers per hour. Just imagine highway speed winds, except they're carrying an entire mountain of sand with them. A force that powerful doesn't just pass through a landscape without leaving a mark. These storms are like sculptors, and they are actively, fundamentally changing the world around them.
I mean, we are literally talking about the power to move mountains. Or at least mountains made of sand. Over time, the constant assault of sandstorms can physically shift entire sand dunes, carving out new valleys, erasing old ones. They're constantly redrawing the map of the desert.
And this really shows you what that reshaping looks like. On one side, you have a pretty stable desert landscape, but after a few powerful storms have had their way with it, the entire place is transformed. It's a really powerful reminder that the ground under our feet isn't always as permanent as we think it is.
But believe it or not, the story doesn't end in the desert. The impact of a single sandstorm isn't just local. It can have a truly global reach, and this is one of the most fascinating things about them.
That's right, you heard me. Oceans. The tiniest particles of dust that get lifted up from the Sahara don't just settle back down nearby. Nope. They get caught in high-altitude winds and can travel for thousands of miles, crossing the entire Atlantic Ocean to reach the Americas or drifting all the way across Asia. And when this dust finally arrives on another continent, it has this incredible two-sided impact. On the one hand, yeah, it can cause hazy skies and create breathing problems for people. But on the other hand, that very same dust is packed with minerals like phosphorus, and it acts as a vital, all-natural fertilizer for places like the Amazon rainforest, which desperately needs those nutrients.
So with a resume like that, powerful, dramatic, world-changing, it's really no surprise that sandstorms have also carved out a huge place in human culture. Let's take a look at how we've seen them and portrayed them throughout history. You have to imagine being an ancient person living in one of these regions. The sudden arrival of a sky-darkening wall of sand wasn't just weather. It was a terrifying, awe-inspiring event. It was often seen as a direct message from the gods, a powerful omen, or maybe even a warning.
And that sense of drama has totally carried over into our time. The pure visual spectacle of a sandstorm has made it a go-to tool for filmmakers. I mean, think about that epic, insane chase in Mad Max Fury Road, or the mysterious, atmospheric vibe in Dune. They use sandstorms to crank up the tension, the adventure, and the otherworldly beauty.
So what is a sandstorm, really? Is it a destructive force that tears up landscapes?
Or is it a global life-bringer, carrying crucial nutrients across oceans? Well, the amazing answer seems to be it's both. It's a powerful paradox, and what it truly is depends entirely on your perspective.